Hello and welcome to Stories of Resilience. This is our first episode. Just a backstory, I've been interested in exploring the people that I know in my daily life, how they have gone through difficult times and how they've gotten over them. So I'm sitting here with...
My name is Daniar, and I'm Asylee from Russia.
And my name is Andre. I'm, now former Asylee. I just got my citizenship 2 years ago, but also from Russia, from the same,
congratulations.
From the same town. Thank you.
So I actually met Daniar at the International Rescue Committee, which is an amazing program that works with newly arrived refugees and asylees. And I've learned recently that a lot of people don't know the difference between an asylee and a refugee. A refugee tries to leave their country, and an asylee has already left their country and is saying it's unsafe to go back. And then Andre and Daniar are from the same town in Russia.
Kaliningrad.
So to backtrack, you're both gay.
Yeah. Actually, I have a couple of weed in my car. We was thinking to bring it. We should. And high heels too.
Oh, great. So we could have a drag show after this. Okay, so in Russia, that's obviously not okay or not accepted.
Yeah.
And is that the reason that was the reason for leaving?
One of the main reasons. And number two, also being the mandatory conscription, like the draft in the military.
Okay.
And so that was quite a scary thing to imagine, going, having to do military service and being gay, that could end not well.
That's bad in America, and I would imagine in Russia.
There's hazing, and there are
it's awful.
a lot of things that,
and people die constantly there, even if you gay, it's over, basically. If you an open gate, there is no way.
Yeah.
But for regular people, they constantly die there, and if you get it,
it can be really
so
bad.
much. Yeah.
So you really have to get out.
Yeah.
And so, did you both? Was this? You knew each other in Russia.
Yeah, we were best friends before we came.
You've been best friends forever, and they're still best friends. And you've been in America for how long?
7.5 years.
Yeah, 7.5.
7.5 years. Okay. So when you decided to go, did you know that you wanted to go to America? I mean, you could have gone to any country, I guess.
At that point, I didn't care where I was. I mean, I just didn't want to go back to the same kind of like lifestyle of like having to hide who you are and, just constantly kind of worrying about, being gay and the things that could have gone wrong because of that.
In Russia, it's very repressed society. So when I got back, literally I remember I lived in so much fear that I would not be able to escape. So when I got my second visa for next year, I was like, I'm grabbing it. I have to leave and never come back. Because when you leave in the darkness, you don't see there is light exists.
Yeah.
And that's all you knew. And then when I get taste of freedom, it was just so spectacular and so amazing for me. Mm-hmm. I was horrified that I would not be able to leave Russia and move to free country. Yeah.
Were you out to your parents?
No. I mean, I was not out even to myself.
Oh, okay. What about you?
I was I was not out to my parents, but most of my friends knew, but I was still kind of struggling with my identity at that point, and I wasn't accepting of a lot of things. I was against the gay parenting and things like that.
That's so crazy.
Because I grew up and
you just thought
I wasn't even sure
parents because that's
I was like it's not right for a kid to be brought up in such an environment and stuff like that. So
crazy.
I was hoping maybe that I was gonna stop being gay.
But
I just wasn't. I wasn't fully accepting of myself.
Even yesterday we went for a walk, and I was telling you that only 2 days ago, finally it clicked to me. Then people were against and harassed me and attacked me, and there was no reason. Because before even till yesterday
in Russia.
Yeah, even yesterday I thought there is a reason, and that I'm gay. It's something bad. And only 2 days ago it clicked to me, I'm gay, I'm gay. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing, it's just, I'm brown hair. I understood it on the mental level, but because it was so engraved in me, I didn't understand on my emotional level. So 2 days ago, I find oh wow, there was no reason for attacking. There is no reason if I wear a dress, there is no reason. It's just I wear a dress. Nobody should attack me for those reasons. Mm-hmm. And I was attacked, I was harassed, those things happen. So I was oh wow, that's so fucked up.
I know that you were telling me that you just kind of came out about your story with maybe seeking asylum or whatever you spoke about on NPR, right?
AMP, American Public Media, AMP.
AMP. So you told your story on AMP.
Yeah.
It was transcribed to Russian and released in your hometown.
Yes.
And online.
It was online.
It was everywhere.
It was like everywhere.
So it went totally viral.
Yeah.
In this small town.
No, not even that. I think it went into one of the national newspapers.
Did it?
I think so. I think I've heard about
Famous.
it. But
what happened?
can I speak to that?
Yeah, please.
So I love the story. The story was very factual, very dry. Like you couldn't really tell if they were judging or not. It was just
what
he's gay.
happened.
He moved here.
The way the article was transcribed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was great. I loved it. It portrayed him in a very it was just talking about his achievements and that he moved here and he's gay. But the comments below, it was just horrible. I mean, just the things that people were saying. I stopped reading. I think I told him not to even read it because it was just so hateful. And
did you read it?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, there were a lot of derogatory terms used and stuff. But one comment that stuck out, it was some female that commented.
Yeah.
She said something to the effect of, well, I'm glad that he's there, and I think people like him shouldn't be allowed to be back and to see their families ever again. Oh. And I just thought it was so hateful. She just wished for him to never. I mean, just never see your family. I mean,
someone that you don't know.
It's just horrible. Yeah. Why would you wish that on someone? I mean, I was.
Because and there's no reason.
And she didn't even know him.
But how do you get over that? That's why I'm interested in talking to people about resilience. Is how do you know that everyone in your country or many people in your country are feeling this way about both of you?
The comments. I think it's horrible. Cyber abuse is horrible if you if you don't know who you are, it can be so traumatic. But because I'm in a different country, I feel safe here.
Yeah,
it was
that's huge.
It's huge. But what happened because of that, my dad got exposed, and I was fearful for my family because I'm open.
Your dad got
they have
exposed.
My face was there, and people knew my mom, my name there. So I was afraid for my family because they can be attacked.
Because Donier's whole family's still in Russia.
Yeah.
And your family's still in Russia?
Same town.
So that crossed my mind. That made me feel like, oh wow, something happened to them.
But everything's been okay?
Yeah, everything was okay, and my dad stopped talking to me because of that. So that, my dad doesn't talk to me, that's ridiculous. Because he give power to people who kind of don't matter, and here I have to listen to all this shit. That attacking me, and he takes others' side and against me. Because
it shamed him, probably. Yeah, so it's his own ego or something.
Yeah, but that hurts.
Not that that's okay.
Yeah, that's not
obviously.
Okay. So that happened, and that hurt me the most.
I want to take it back to you guys coming to America. Mm-hmm. So you went to New York first of all, mm-hmm. and you went straight to San Diego?
Yeah. Then I came to San Diego, and I liked it, and I think I decided I was going to stay after I attended the Gay Pride parade. Because I just
that must have been eye-opening.
After that day, I decided I was not going back to Russia because I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I just can't because I've never seen.
We've seen. Can't go back.
I've never seen such a display of acceptance and support, and there were a lot of straight people with their kids, and it was just unbelievable. I mean, it was after that, I was like, "There's no way."
So you got your asylum right away.
Pretty much.
You were granted asylum right away, and it took Donier 7 years.
Yeah, 6
years.
6.5.
6.5 years to get. So can we talk about why it took so long?
What happened is, so I went to. First of all, I waited, so I became legal already, and then you have to apply for asylum within a year after your arrival. And then I knew my time is ticking, so I have to apply. And then I did apply. I wrote my story, and then I had my interview. And my first interview, I did I was passionate. I told what I felt, but still because I was not open to myself, and I didn't see all the things that happened to me as a bad things. For example, I was abused since I was a kid, and I didn't think that abuse is necessarily wrong. Because that's how I grew up. I didn't know better. So I didn't tell like my whole story, or I shared like I was sexually violated when I was younger, and I didn't tell I was sexually violated. I just said like, oh, 2 guys brought me down to the basement and didn't really happen anything, but it did happen. But other things I was just ashamed being gay, so I didn't spoke about it because I was ashamed being who I am. So I thought the people will judge me because they don't like gay people too. And it's like, I feel like everybody don't like gay people.
Okay, so because of all of this, basically,
and
you're not granted asylum.
Yeah, and because of I probably didn't tell like all my story. I was not.
Yeah, so basically, because you didn't make the story sound as horrible as it really was.
Yeah.
They said. So then, what happens during those 7 years that you are not granted asylum?
So they give you work authorization. So you're legal to work, but you have to apply every year. And like last year was the worst because they lost my case. And I was not able to work again for several months. And you know, I'm an actor and I book something. And I'm like, and I cannot work. So it's like, kill me. And I finally have this commercial film, like,
Yeah, Danny is an actor doing very well. So I want to get into the resilience of coming to America and getting your feet on the ground.
My first year or two, I was questioning like my decision a lot because like, in Russia, like I mean,
everyone does because I work with refugees. Everyone is like wants to go back to their country.
Yeah, I was like, what am I doing here? Like in Russia, I was getting a degree. Like I lived with my parents. Like I never had to like work. I mean, I was like, I was doing okay, you know. And then I came here and I was like, wait, like.
But you have to build your life up completely from scratch.
Yeah, and I think because we didn't speak English, and when I noticed that
the accent, people get people get discriminate, like because you know they assume automatically you're stupid or something, you know. That's why I worked really hard on trying to like get rid of my accent or like you know smooth it out as much as I could. Because I had like a really thick Russian accent when I first came here, and I think a lot of people they would be like, oh, you know, like not so sure. Maybe that's a I don't know. They were just like not as open as you know to hiring me.
You realize that this country is built on immigrants, and you are equal even if you don't speak the same language. Even you feel that you belong in this country, and it took me 7 years
to realize that.
Because I felt lower just because I have different language. And I was not able to speak.
I was talking to a friend about this from France, and she said that it's so amazing because you know I could move to France tomorrow, and I will never be French. I could live there for 30 years and still not be French. But you can live in America for a year and you're American. So let's say that someone just happens to come across this video and they are immigrants. And they are not accepted in their country for whatever reason. Maybe it's because they're gay or some other reason. What advice do you have for that person?
I would say you need to talk to people and just ask for help. When I came here, I'm like a very kind of self-reliant person. So I found out about the asylum application. I filled it out. I applied, but I didn't go to the organization that Danny found. You know, there was there's so much help. The rescue community. I feel like it could have been a lot easier if I had someone to guide me through. So like definitely find someone. You know, ask around. I don't know. I mean, pretty much everyone knows someone that's like a refugee or asylee. I mean, there's so many people in that situation, and I mean, just ask for help because I was kind of like afraid maybe of it, or you know, didn't want to share my story. I don't know. For whatever reason, I didn't ask, and I feel like it could have been easier if I asked for help. You know.
Yeah.
The most important is not to like. You know, maybe a few years in, if you're still not sure if it's happening or not, just stick it out and it's going to happen. Because I think the worst would be when you're this close to getting it. And there's so many things that discourage you. Yeah, just don't do that because that's, if you are not happy there, if you were in danger, if you felt like you were less of a human than other people that live there, don't go back there. It's toxic. It's going to be dangerous for your life too. It's just, you know, stay here and pursue your dreams.
What about you? What advice do you have for someone who's in your situation?
I think for me, I didn't like myself. Because I grew up in a society when I was not seen as equal person. I thought of myself as less. And in the United States, I was able to learn that I'm not less, and work through the issues, and especially like many people who moved to the United States were abused when they were younger. I was abused, and going to therapy helped me to work through the issues and find that there was nothing wrong with me, just people abusive.
Yeah.
And I was victimized in those situations, and I was able to work through it and find that I'm not a victim at all, and opposite, lead and live my life to the fullest. And I think that's very, very important.
Okay. So 2 years ago, Andre got a big award that is a huge honor that you're going to tell us about now.
Yeah. So, so just to backtrack, so I went back a year after I moved to the States. Once I finally got my green card, I was able to go to school and be in-state tuition. So I re-enrolled in school, and I got my accounting degree from San Diego State, and I was a part of a student organization there called Beta Alpha Psi. So they basically every year they award someone. They have an award for someone that kind of went through some exceptional hardship and succeeded despite all the things that they needed to deal with. And so I got this award. It's right here. So came with a scholarship as well. So it really helped me, to pay some of my student loans. And
That's amazing.
Honestly, looking at myself, even 2 years, 2.5 years ago, I started my first professional job, working in the field that I got my degree in. And up until then, I was like kind of struggling with financially a lot, But the last 2.5 years, my life has changed completely. I was able to make decent money, and even better than maybe like an average American salary, and I have a good job and enjoy some of the conveniences that I didn't have for a few years. It was a very what do you call it? Humbling experience, and this award. I was very emotional at the moment I got it. All these things went through my head. All the things that I had to go through.
Yeah, where you were and
I'm
where you
at.
are now.
Yeah, and then I think honestly, in terms of the opportunity, I feel like there was more opportunity for me to succeed in the United States, even as compared to Russia. Just because this country is there are a lot of opportunities here for everyone.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of realize that and
make them happen.
Yeah, and make it happen. And I realized that it made it happen, and I like we were talking about earlier, I was kind of feeling like less than others because I was an immigrant, and I didn't feel like a sense of belonging. And now I'm like, well, I'm actually not any worse than any of the people here, people that lived here their whole life, people that were born here. I came here and I was able to pursue my dreams and live my life. So
oh yeah, we have a little Russian. What are they called?
Nesting dolls, matryoshka.
Matryoshka. Thank you so much, guys. I think you're both amazing and so resilient. And is there any last thing that you want to say?
Yeah, I want to say thank you to you because you're volunteering and helping people like us, and you helped me so much.
We worked together at the IRC. I don't know if I made that.
Yeah, and she's an actress.
I'm an actor, so we were I was trying to help him with I'm a caseworker basically at the IRC, helping people get their first jobs in the United States. And Vincent Daniel was like, well, what about this casting director?
Yeah, and you helped me so much.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
So thank you.
Yeah. So obviously we just met, but I want to say thank you so much for this opportunity, because this is just it's very therapeutic, and I feel like if this actually ends up helping someone, maybe that would be huge. And just thank you for being such a positive, awesome person.
Of course, thank you. Thanks, guys, and thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.